Good evening, everyone. Welcome into Talking Fitchburg on this wet and dreary Thursday, April 28th. Hopefully you all had a good day out there. I am Andrew Bamlett, filling in for Mr. Jeremy Crosby once again today. Hopefully he'll be better tomorrow, and we'll hopefully see him then on Friday. Today we got a busy show for you. We have a little change. We have a change alert for an event that was supposed to take place on Saturday. Is now taking place tomorrow, Friday. And that is the Arbor Day tree planting events. There's two of them, and they're both tomorrow now. So we're going to sit down with Anna Healy and from our trees department and talk about the planting of trees for Arbor Day, which is tomorrow, so that's timely. And also talk about the tree being named a tree city. And we hit a big milestone this year. So we're going to talk with Anna about that today. And then also talk about the Town of Madison acquaintance meeting that's going on tonight and the resources that the people from the Town of Madison could use through the city to answer any questions, and anything else you may need to know will be found on this resource page, and we'll talk about that with Mr. Crosby in the guest segment today. But we are going to get started, and we're going to start with some jobs going on, and we do have new job here at the city that is on this list. Now we have administration intern, which is in the administration department. We have a building attendant, that's a LTE in the park recreation. Court cashier is also LTE position, still looking for that. Now we have deputy city assessor, looking for that as a full-time position. Engineering technician 2, environmental, engineering project engineer, part-time. We have groundskeeper, one of those sign-on bonus LTE positions in Public Works. Here's the new position. We have the police officer. We have a position for police officer, lateral or entry level. So get on and apply for that if you're interested. Program assistant, also for park and recreation. We have the Public Works maintenance worker utility, full-time position. Public Works Parks and Streets maintenance worker, and a Public Works Streets maintenance worker, all full-time positions there. We have a seasonal parks maintenance worker for sign-on bonus with Parks and Recreation, and seasonal utility maintenance worker, LTE as well, again with the Public Works. And a lot of those LTEs are having a sign-on bonus, so if you're interested, come on down and get that $500 sign-on bonus here at the city of Fitchburg. All right, next we're going to talk about a little bit of Friday fun to go from the Fitchburg Public Library. That's right, tomorrow it's Friday, so of course from 10 to 6 we've got Friday fun to go bags ready for you here at the Public Library. So stop on down. We have two different activity bags, ages 2 to 5 and ages 6 to 12. They'll be available in the children's section of the library starting at 10 a.m. So please come get one. Please limit one per child, and this is while supplies last. So if you are interested, I would get down there earlier because you just never know when those are going to go. Selling like hotcakes. We'll selling for free, but they're going like hotcakes. So get on out there. All right. Also, we have summer discount tickets available at the recreation department. So it's time for the summer outings. Get them on your calendar, and you can get some free tickets potentially here through free, but savings on some summer tickets for great areas to go around Wisconsin. So you have Noah's Ark, you have Mount Olympus, and the Milwaukee County Zoo tickets. So you can see all the tickets are used for this year. You can save up to $11 at Noah's Ark. You can save up to $25 at Mount Olympus. Save up to $5 at the zoo. So I mean, it's good. It look a lot of fun. Get some decent prices. I got a lot of kids, so these might really help me out. Get some decent prices to go to some of these places. Some of my kids like to go to all of those places. So again, come on down. They're right here at the Fitchburg Recreation Department. Through Friday, August 19th. So you got some time starting now until 19th of August. Again, office hours are 8 to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday at the Fitchburg Recreation Department. Last story before we go to break, we are going to talk about the Arbor Day events that are now tomorrow, Friday, April 29th. We'll have one at Chicory Meadow Park at 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. We'll be meeting at the gazebo there, and we'll be planting some native shrubs to replace the honeysuckle and buckthorn that will be removed. That was removed last winter. And also then at 4 p.m. we have Corey Hill Park meeting at the gazebo as well. We'll be planting trees and shrubs into the park to replace ash trees that were removed, do the emerald ash borer, and provide nesting habitats for the birds. So those will be your 2 times for that. Now we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll sit down and talk with Anna Healy more about these events tomorrow, and also talk about being a tree city and hitting a milestone. You're watching Talking Fitchburg.
Hey, boss. Okay?
I said I'm fine.
Put me to bed, see you in the morning. With the frosted Superman, but it wasn't on it. And we lost it. In my head, in my head, in my head. Where you at? Underlay, in my head.
Hey, son.
Hey, Bob.
You know you can talk to me.
Yeah.
We're all just trying to keep things running for those who rely on us.
Ready!
That's why we don't have time to be sick with the flu. And especially this year, no one has time to get sick. Get a flu shot for yourself and those around you too.
Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. Today I have the pleasure of sitting down with Anna Healy, our urban forester and naturalist. Did I say that correctly?
You did.
All right,
Excellent.
perfect. How are you today, Anna?
I'm great. Thank you for having me on the show.
Absolutely. And today we're talking about, we had some tree planting events, and they were scheduled for Saturday, and actually now it's being changed. So we're going to talk about those changes and what's happening at these tree plantings and where they're at. So why don't you get us started, Anna?
Perfect. Well, thank you. So it's supposed to thunderstorm on Saturday, and lightning is a deal breaker for us to hold an activity. So we are going to move the tree plantings up to Friday. We will be at Chicory Meadows at 2 o'clock on Friday. And we'll be doing a lot of shrub planting there, as well as some trees. This is a really interesting project. It's we had a volunteer work over the winter to take out all the invasive brush that was in one of the fence lines in Chicory Meadows. He removed it all, which is great. And then our city crews went in, ground the stumps, picked up all the brush, really got things prepped up very nicely. So this spring, we can go in there and get native shrubs installed to kind of take up that growing space. And I just was out there earlier today getting the native shrubs in place and also some trees. And I noticed there are some Solomon seals and trout lily and things like that coming up. So it's interesting, you get rid of that invasive shrub, that invasive layer, and the natives just, they can't wait to come back, which was very, very encouraging. So that will be a very interesting event. I can't wait to see what it looks like with the natives in there. And that's tomorrow at 2 to 3. And we're going to be planting a bur oak as a nod to our native oaks, some serviceberry. We'll be putting in some hazelnuts, also some viburnums, and a witch hazel. So I'm really couldn't be more excited to be able to really sort of transform part of Chicory Meadows from basically an invasive jungle into a really nice native shrub habitat with some native trees that will really be great habitat for birds. It'll be good for, not just birds, but wildlife in general. It'll be much more aesthetically pleasing. And also it won't bleed into people's yards. Now we have these parks that have all these invasive shrubs. And if you live next to a park, you're going to have those invasive shrubs in your yard as well. So we're really working hard to try and get some of the native shrubs on the city property under control so we can be better neighbors, basically. And this is an example of that project. And thank you to our dedicated volunteers who make all of this possible. I really, really appreciate all your efforts.
Absolutely. Volunteers are good for everything. And without volunteers, we'd be so far behind in anything and everything here, especially here in the city as well. So thank you, volunteers. And that sounds like a good project. And like you said, the natives, they just want to come back. All those native plants want to come back and get those invasive ones out of here.
Yes.
And so now we're also have another tree planting at Corey Hill as well.
Yes, thank you. Yes, so at Corey Hill, we have the Neighborhood Association has been very active in tree planting. We got a donation from the American Transmission Company to do tree plantings in a park, and we're going to do this in Quarry Hill. So thank you to ATC for that donation. And the neighbors have gotten together and very proactively, because there's an awful lot of development going on in that part of Fitchburg, and they've been, their views are changing, from being views of ag fields and views of tree lines to basically views of other houses. So they're very conscious of that, and they'd really like to try and maintain a more natural landscape if they can. So we'll be putting more native trees into that park, as well as some more shrubs. The shrubs serve as sort of a not just for aesthetics, because the shrubs are more, person sized. So they're going to be more person sized screening. They also provide great wildlife habitat, as well as all the other, ecological benefits, from stormwater to carbon fixation, that sort of thing, as trees do. So we're putting some shrubs in for that purpose. And then we're also planting some trees there that we don't have very many of in the city. We're going to be planting a London plane tree, which is a large canopy tree that is going to replace one of our ash trees. Unfortunately, Quarry Hill Park had, I forget, 20%, 25%. It had a heavy ash component. All those trees have been removed, and we've been slowly replacing them. These will be the last ash replacements that we need to plant. One of them, again, is this London plane tree, which very large canopy tree, very interesting bark. Will provide shade and other ecosystem benefits to the people who frequent the park. We're also planting a horse chestnut, which is, we don't have a whole lot of those in our parks. I can only think of one or two. So that's going to be a new addition for us. Very excited to plant that. I hope it does well. I think it should. I think it's a good location for it. So it'll be interesting. And that tree, of course, adds a lot of interest, wildlife interest. Also, it has an interesting canopy, interesting fall color, that sort of thing, and it'll be a nice addition to the park. And not only will it provide those aesthetics we've talked about in terms of kind of establishing more of a native tree view rather than a view of buildings, it also offers the wildlife habitat and other things that we've been discussing. So very exciting. That will be tomorrow at 4 to 5. I'm very grateful that the neighborhood association and the volunteers were very gracious in working with me earlier this week. I was keeping an eye on the forecast, and it didn't really change much from Monday. And I said, ladies, if this doesn't change, how possible is it to move this to Friday? If we get this plant material in the ground on Friday, Friday looks like a great tree planting, not too hot, not too cold, not real sunny, should be perfect. And then if these plants rained in all weekend, they will have a great. So if we can move it to Friday, wow, would that be awesome? And and these people are very flexible and very gracious with their time, and they changed their schedules around and said, sure, bring it on. Let's plant trees on Friday. So that's what we're going to do.
Oh, that sounds great. And as far as people coming out to help and be there, what should they bring? Anything? Should they have gloves? What kind of equipment should they have?
Good question. So yes, gloves are a really good idea. Particularly if you're going to be planting shrubs. They aren't real prickly, but one of the things that we do is these are all container trees. So they're not particularly big, but they've been in a container this spring, which means we need to spread the roots out. And it's easier to do that if you've got gloves on. Mm-hmm. So gloves are a real great idea. The other thing that's really nice is to have some hand tools. Again, a trowel or something like that to really spread those roots out would be great. We will have shovels and we will have rakes and wheelbarrows, but water is also really nice. It's a fairly physical thing to plant trees and shrubs. So we will be, we'll be out there for at least an hour, getting these things in the ground, and the holes will be dug, but we'll be spreading mulch. We'll be, getting trees out of containers, getting them into the holes. We need to match up the, tree with the hole. So that always takes a little bit of work in terms of got to fill the hole back in a little bit or take some more out or whatever. So, so I guess bring some elbow grease. That always comes in handy when you're planting trees, as well as gloves, water, and any kind of hand tools that you like to use, particular to you. So, and the other thing I would say, if folks want to bring their own tools, shovels and such, because that they're more comfortable, that's great. There's no issue with that. So,
perfect.
Yeah.
Well, it's good to know. Good to know what people need to bring. Gloves are bring those. If nothing else, at least have gloves on, because you're dealing with plants and dirt and
right.
things
You
that
just
could
never
be
know.
pokey, and yeah, you don't want to. You just want to be careful with your hands.
Yeah.
One more thing, quickly, as we're talking about kind of a big milestone here in the city with being
Yes.
a tree city. So why don't you explain what that is and what milestone
Yes.
we're hitting?
Yes. Thank you. Yes. Thank you for bringing this up. This year is our 25th, kind of a big deal. 25th year being a Tree City USA. This is a program that we participate in. It's the National Arbor Day Foundation is the organizing entity for Tree City. And basically what it is, it isn't something you just say like, hey, we want to be a Tree City because we're fun. That's not how it works. You have to apply every year to be a Tree City. And the base requirements are that you have a proclamation, an Arbor Day proclamation, and Arbor Day is the last Friday in April. So Arbor Day is tomorrow. So we will be doing all these tree plantings on Arbor Day, which is really, I think, kind of cool. So anyway, so you have to have an Arbor Day proclamation made by the mayor or whomever, right? So in this last Tuesday, our mayor did an Arbor Day proclamation, which was great. You also have to spend at least $2 per capita on trees. So, and we do that. We have right now our population is 26,000 or so, 27 or whatever it is. I might be a little bit behind after the last census. And we do spend more than $2 per person on trees, which is great. The other thing that you have to do is you have to do an Arbor Day celebration, which we are doing tomorrow. So every year for the last 25 years, we've met those 3 criteria. We've had a proclamation, we've spent at least $2 per capita on trees or tree related activities, and we have done an Arbor Day activity. So, had an event. So I would really encourage people to go out to our parks. If you can't come out tomorrow, which I totally understand, go out to our parks. There's all kinds of trees that have been planted by volunteers for Arbor Day all over our parks, in McKee Farms Park in particular, in McGaw. If you walk around and you see trees that have been planted in the last 25 years, it probably was having something to do with Arbor Day. So I really commend the city for being able to maintain that status. And I hope we have at least another 25 years to come.
That sounds awesome, and congratulations to the city and you, Anna. I've been, I'm sure, a big part of keeping that going.
I try.
I mean, that's a big thing, and it's
It is.
we previewed the proclamation on Wednesday that took place Tuesday here on Talking Fitchburg, and again, everyone come out tomorrow. It is now tomorrow, Friday, April 29th.
Yes.
You have Chicory Meadow from 2 to 3 and Quarry Hill Park from 4 to 5. So come on out and help celebrate Arbor Day, since it is tomorrow. So that's pretty awesome.
Yeah. It is pretty awesome. And I so appreciate everyone's patience with the time and date change. I know people won't be able to make it as much, but don't worry. There's lots of opportunity. We're going to be, there'll be a lot of opportunity to plant trees. We have we have other events coming up that we can announce that we still need to reschedule. So at any rate, I guess I would like to just thank you for having me on the show. And I really appreciate all the time and attention towards trees and Arbor Day. And if anyone has any questions or is interested in having an Arbor Day activity in their backyard, just give me a call, send me an email, and we'll see what we can do.
Perfect. That sounds awesome. Anna, thank you for being on today, and good luck with all the planting tomorrow.
Thank you. I so appreciate it.
Absolutely. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back right after this break. You're watching Talking Fitchburg.
All right. Thank you.
You could be spreading the coronavirus without realizing you have it. So follow guidance from authorities where you live and do your part. It's important to limit in-person interaction with anyone outside of your immediate household, but phone and video chat are safe ways to connect. It's also important to limit any social gathering. This advice applies to people of any age, including teens and younger adults. Visit coronavirus.gov for the latest information.
Brandon met a girl on a dating app. He finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being...
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving.
She must be a keeper.
Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. We're in the digest, and today we're going to be talking about the Town of Madison attachment. On October 31st of 2022, parts of the Town of Madison will be attached to the city of Fitchburg. Sounds weird. I'm just going to say that you're going to become part of the city of Fitchburg, and we're happy to welcome you with open arms here. And we want to answer all the questions that everybody may have. We got events coming up all summer long, and we'll be sharing some of that coming up at the open house here. But before we get to that, let's just start with the website. And Andrew has got this queued up and ready for us to share some of this information. This is specifically all the information related to the town of Madison attachment. So residents in the town can come to this location and find everything you need to know. You had postcards that were sent in the mail within the last couple of weeks. Hopefully you received it. If you didn't, let us know. We'll tell you how to do that. But if you didn't get it, the postcards are right there on your screen. And we have it both in English and in Spanish. So if you didn't receive one of those or you received it and you're looking for the Spanish translation, it's right there on the website. We also have been putting up posters at area business. I've been on the road the last couple of days meeting area businesses, and those posters are out there. And hopefully you've seen that to remind you of the event coming up on the 28th of April. But this is the landing site, and we're going to continue to update you on what's happening with the town and information that you need to know here as you become part of the city of Fitchburg. And again, we welcome everybody, and we want to answer all of those questions, whether you're property owner, resident, renter, business owner. We want to talk to you. So, and we want to make sure we answer all of those questions. So I've said question quite a bit, right? So got a question? Well, Andrew, we've got the answer, right? If you have any questions, immediately you could call 608-270-4200, or you can fill out this contact form. It's right there on the main page of the town site that we were just on. And you submit that question and we will answer it back. Our communications team will receive that and send that response back to you. And we want you to get, and again, all questions answered, but you're more than welcome to call and say, I'm a town of Madison resident. I have a question about so-and-so, and we'll direct you right to the right department to answer those questions. So feel free to call in or submit a question here online, and we'll answer those for you. Now, if there's additional questions that you might have, we have a frequently asked question page set up for you. Let's take a look at that. And this is some of the stuff, some of the early questions that have come in. And so we're trying to answer them as they come in. We want to continue to update this. So, will school boundaries change? No school boundaries will change. Everything will remain unchanged. So everything stays the same as far as the school district for the parts that are coming to Fitchburg. So if you're in the part that is Fitchburg, no changes to the school boundary. That's awesome. Will my voting location change? Yes, polling location will change for the November 8th election, and residents will receive that information shortly after the August 9th, 2022 election. So after the August 9th, 2022 election, November 8th, you'll be voting at a new location, and we're still working on the details of that. We'll hope to have that soon. Like I said, after the August 9th, we should have that information ready to go. Finally, how will my home be assessed? Another good question that has come in, and the city of Fitchburg revalues properties on an annual basis. The owners of the parcels that will be annexed to Fitchburg will receive letters in the fall of 2022 requesting property owners to schedule an appointment for a full walkthrough of their property. At that time, the assessor's office will be visiting the property and collecting the data needed to value the property. Please visit the assessing page of our website, fitchburgwi.gov, for additional information pertaining to the assessment process. So those are some of the early questions that have come in so far. You're welcome to send them on Facebook, email us, call us. We want to hear from you, and we want to share that information. And, well, you're like, well, I have more questions than that, or just the ones that we just talked about. Well, hey, Andrew, we got the answer, right? Take a look at this. We have a whole frequently asked questions page that has all of your questions that you might have. And if we don't have it there, we'll still answer it. Darn it. We're here for you. And yeah, the information is there. We would love for you to visit that, see if you can find the answers there. We've tried to spell out all of the possible questions you may have. And it breaks down by different city departments. And again, any questions that you can think of, it probably is in here and related. And get encourage you to check out our website. You can find out more information, but this is the fastest way, I would say, to navigate our website based on the questions that you might have per each department. So we look forward to sharing more information with you coming up, and I am so excited to do that. But just looking under here, let's see here, Andrew. We've got the assessing department, community center, human resources, the library, the main page, parks, and we have the planning and zoning, police department. We've had some questions about the police department and that information. So we have the different general questions that you might have: police department records, police department services, police department traffic. Public Works Department might be another one that you're curious. And, what is my trash pickup? What day will be my trash pickup? We'll have more information. We contract with Pelletary Waste Systems, for an example there. And we'll be sharing the updated map here on here. You can click on here and learn more about that and disposal services. But future residents that are coming into the city of Fitchburg, we contract for our waste services, and you can learn more again through the Q&A portion of our site. Now, the 28th, we have a open house. Town of Madison Get Acquainted meeting is Thursday, April 28th. It starts at 6:30 p.m. at the Courts Benefit Building, 2650 Novation Parkway here in the town of Madison. And we're so excited that Courts has opened up their community room there. And it's kind of good to be right in the area. We wanted to bring the resources to everybody in the town. We'll also be broadcasting it. And since you may have seen this for the first time, Fact TV, Jeremy Crosby, we do a newscast every day, but we also broadcast all of our meetings live on our Fact TV channels, the Gov channel, where you can tune in for this. You can also sign up to talk at this through Zoom, which we'll talk about here in just a minute. But this meeting specifically coming up, we'll have great information from all the departments, and then we want to hear from you. Question and answers, and the department heads will be on site, so you can talk to different departments and get your questions answered on the 28th. Also, if you want to register to attend the meeting via Zoom, we will have this and have it established. You can already register. And this is right on the main page of the Town of Madison attachment site. So if you go to our website, fitchburgwi.gov, you can click right there on the Town of Madison attachment. And right at the bottom, there is the register for Zoom to participate virtually if you would like to speak at the upcoming meeting. And again, we want to hear from you. We look forward to meeting you. I'm going to be out there on the 28th, and my team as well. So we're going to be excited to meet y'all. If you have any questions, go to our website or give us a call. We'd love to hear from you. All right, we're going to take a quick break. Coming up next, we talk with the mayor of Fitchburg about this attachment. That's coming up next right here on Talking Fitchburg.
See on page 4 that the projections need to be flood next Thursday.
Seriously? Thursday? Can't do that.
This is really inconvenient.
I have yoga that day.
I have no time for this.
So
I can't do Thursday, but I can do Friday.
Disasters don't plan ahead. You can. Talk to your loved ones about how you're going to be ready in an emergency. Don't wait. Communicate.
If you love them enough to suck the snot out of their nose at 4 a.m., then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. Wrapping up the show today, I want to thank Anna Healy for coming in and talking with us about these great events that are happening tomorrow. And also for Jeremy talking about the resources for the town of Madison and where to find those. And be sure to tune in tomorrow, and we'll be recapping the event that happened tonight with the town of Madison meeting. All right, that's going to do it for me. Everyone have a great day. We'll see you back here. Stay connected with Fact TV at all these wonderful locations. Have a great evening.